Trump continues to talk about a peace council and says that he is inviting Russia. At the same time, Russia is launching a massive combined attack on Ukraine. My name is Albina Pidhirnyak, more news coming up. Volodymyr Zelensky commented on today's massive attack on Ukraine. The Ukrainian president said that the fact Russia produced some of the missiles used in the attack this year shows it is finding ways to bypass sanctions and get the needed components.
Our representatives reported back. Members of the Ukrainian delegation who recently worked in the United States with the U.S. President's team, as well as our diplomats who are now in Davos. Today's Russian strike and its consequences clearly show the priorities. First of all, we need stronger air defense and fast recovery after the attacks. Real coordination on the ground and with our partners. Russia used many ballistic and cruise missiles, including newly produced ones from this year. This means Russia still finds ways to bypass global sanctions and obtain critical components. Without these parts, such missiles would not exist. Russia cannot produce this kind of weapon on its own. The weapons it uses against Ukraine, our energy system, and to threaten other countries. This is happening while the world, especially the United States, is trying to push diplomacy forward. Russia shows open disregard for these efforts. Right now, Kyiv and many other cities and communities are facing large-scale power outages. In the capital alone, more than 5,600 apartment buildings are without heating after the Russian attack. Repair teams, energy companies, state enterprises, and local services will work 24/7 to stabilize the situation. At the same time, our diplomats and representatives must work just as actively to ensure Ukraine has enough air defense missiles. Recently, one Patriot package and one NASAMS package arrived in Ukraine, and this helped significantly. If the delivery had been delayed even by one more day, the consequences would have been much worse. We cannot lose a single day or miss any chance to strengthen Ukraine and speed up recovery for our people. Ukraine is ready to meet with all partners if these meetings truly help protect lives and ensure security. Our team has prepared everything needed to sign documents, including with the United States on security guarantees and Ukraine's recovery. This must be a historic result because the largest war since World War II is happening in Europe. Ending this war is globally important. We are doing everything for that. We are ready for real work with our European partners as well. If meetings in Davos can bring more protection to real people, cities, and villages in Ukraine, Ukraine will be there. If not, all Ukrainian representatives must focus on concrete actions that help our country and our citizens. The priorities are clear. First, air defense missiles. Second, energy equipment for recovery. Third, support packages for the front and our communities. Every Ukrainian official must show results, stand with the state and the people, and do their job. Thank you to everyone who stands with Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.
On the night when Putin carried out a combined massive attack on Ukraine, Trump confirmed that he had invited Putin to the Peace Council.
Have you invited President Putin to be a member of the Board of Peace?
Yeah, he's been invited.
And do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the Board of Peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well,
Yeah.
Nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Did you invite?
It looks especially cynical that the very next morning after the attack, Lavrov made statements saying that the United States supposedly understands who should be in the Peace Council and who should decide the world order.
We have recently received specific proposals, a draft charter for this structure, and so on. But this initiative reflects the understanding of the United States that even they, with their political and foreign policy philosophy, proceed from the need to assemble a group of countries that will cooperate with you in one direction or another. Yes, it may be objected that the Peace Council was conceived and announced in such a way that everyone should be subordinate to the United States. This is such a But I assure you that the Donald Trump administration, for all the actions that are now widely discussed in the world, is an administration of pragmatists, and it realizes the need not only to unite a large number of countries under its leadership, but also to fully take into account their legitimate interests.
Trump's position clearly gives Putin confidence. At a recent meeting of Russia's Security Council, the dictator spoke about building a multipolar world.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We have two questions today. One concerns current security issues, and the second concerns our participation in the construction of a multipolar world and our actions in this regard. Let's start with this and ask Sergei Lavrov to present his thoughts on this matter. Please.
Meanwhile, in Russia, they are using Trump's position on Greenland. Lavrov compared Greenland to the temporarily occupied Crimea.
In Greenland, there was no coup, but as President Trump said, this territory is simply important for the security of the US. Crimea is equally important for the security of Russia.
At the Economic Forum in Davos, Ursula von der Leyen said that Russia doesn't plan to stop. She also noted Trump's role in pushing for peace.
In just over a month, we will mark the 4th anniversary of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. 4 years on, Russia shows no sign of abating, no sign of remorse, no sign of seeking peace. On the contrary, Russia is intensifying its attacks, killing civilians every day as we speak. Just last week, its bombing of Ukraine's energy infrastructure left millions facing darkness, cold, and water shortages. This must end. We all want peace for Ukraine. We recognize President Trump's role in pushing the peace process forward, and we will work very closely with the United States. And we all agree that, therefore, Ukraine must be in a position of strength to go to the negotiation table.
Kaja Kallas responded to Trump's statements. She said that no country had the right to take another country's territory, not in Ukraine, not in Greenland, and not anywhere in the world.
I want to thank European Parliament for your active engagement in Arctic affairs, including for the timely AFET-INI report adopted last November. Its conclusions echo our own assessment. The Arctic has become a region of growing geostrategic importance. Climate change is transforming the Arctic faster than any other place on the planet. Melting ice is opening new routes and economic opportunities, but also create new risks. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine has reshaped the European security landscape far beyond Ukraine itself. The Arctic is not insulated from this. Russia has disrupted cross-border and regional cooperation in the High North and intensified hybrid activities while militarizing parts of the region. The ship that cut the internet cables in the Baltic Sea in December 2024 escaped through the Russian Arctic waters. Geopolitical tension and geo-economic competition in the Arctic require that the European Union, together with our partners, responds. Our response must be realistic and principled, and it must be guided by the international law. No country has the right to take over the territory of another, not in Ukraine, not in Greenland, not anywhere in the world. We are strengthening preparedness to better anticipate risks. Societal resilience by protecting critical infrastructure, communities and democratic institutions from hybrid threats, and economic security by safeguarding supply chains and preventing strategic dependencies. We are currently updating our own EU Arctic policy to reflect those realities. Security is not only about military presence, it's all about trust, it's about stability, it's about people. As we address these new challenges, we remain guided by the priorities expressed by Greenland authorities themselves: sustainable development, social cohesion, and respect for their environment. Honourable members, the Arctic is warming 3 to 4 times faster than the global average. Climate change, environmental degradation, and security risks do not stop at borders. No country can tackle the threat like this alone. A rules-based international order and effective multilateral cooperation are essential, not optional.
Recently, the United States proposed a so-called compromise for the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, for it to operate under the control of 3 sides: Russia, the United States of America, and Ukraine. But in this video, I'll show you what Russia really is. Russian nuclear workers who come to rotate at the occupied plant are even feared to be housed among local people in Enerhodar. They live directly inside special buildings at the plant. They made very basic shelters for themselves out of the clothing boxes. They eat there, sleep there, use the toilet there, and drink alcohol there as well.
I show our housing. Tennis table. Then we go to the clean locker room of the office building. Here we change our shoes, respectively. We leave dirty shoes, go into a clean locker room. I want to shoot the video for the guys.
Do you delete it later?
Well, of course. So, we go into the dirty locker room. So, well, no one lives here yet. Here the bed used to be located, which was issued by replacement. We move to the dirty locker room itself, to our apartment. This is our home. Diamond Bakton lives here, Arseny Shutin here, and me here. The underpants here are ours. Things in lockers. There is a toilet here. That's it. Now let's go to the kitchen. There is already a passage to doses. The door is like this, as it were, with such a lock. This is our kitchen here. There used to be sinks for disinfection here. A washing machine, 2 refrigerators were rammed into us. Here is such a table. So, this room used to be for the collection of dirty PPE, but now it is empty. So far no one has been settled. Well, let's move on. We are carrying water, so we are with from the well. You can't drink this water, it's a Hof. Here the first children who drank, then off. So, it is necessary to carry water from the street. The military made a well there. In general, we carry water from there. Now we'll go to the shower room. This, by the way, is this room, a sauna. They promised us to open it. Here is a shower sauna. Someone is washing there, so I won't go far.
In a time of constant information noise, focus on what truly matters. Thank you to everyone who supports Ukraine. Together we will win. Glory to Ukraine.